So, this is another video for the In God We Trust campaign, where I mark everywhere it says In God We Trust, right? Ichiro Cannot Die started this, and one of the there was a few different people I could have pulled in for this one. It's everyone who has a cause that they're talking about that gets a little bit of ridicule. Like for me, I have a Skype conversation right now that just happened minutes ago with South Dakota Girl 30, where she's like, "You realize it's illegal to destroy or mark up money, right?" You know, threatening me with the law. I've actually had people tell me that they were going to call the police on me. One in particular, he was saying that, and when you get to jail and they find out you're an atheist, you're going to get ass raped. I was like, wow, you know. But this is the kind of resistance that I get to this campaign, and I've heard of Variablast getting death threats for what he's trying to do, you know, which, if you ever talk to the guy, he's a pretty, like, passive guy. Why would anyone want to kill this guy? They might, like, disagree with him, but to kill him over anything he's doing is, like, it's nuts.
Overkill.
It's overkill. It's kill, actually. But you, just like me, are an intactivist.
Yes.
Right? Now, when I tell people that I'm marking currency, like I'm about to do right now, when I tell people this, they say, you know, this is just little stupid shit. You're never going to change anything, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever get that same sentiment from people?
Oh, yeah. Particularly when it comes to the issue of Jews and Muslims, because I've had people just tell me anything you do is irrelevant, because even if it gets to the point where it looks like your view is going to change the world, they would just put laws in place to protect the rights of Muslims and Jews to mutilate their children. Mm-hmm. My sentiment to that is kind of like, well, not if we convince society to recognize that infants aren't members of a religion. But yeah. Also, I had one guy unfriend me on Facebook and tell me that I should put all my passion into something that quote-unquote actually matters.
Yeah.
Let's see, after he told me that I was the only guy who he knew who didn't want to be circumcised, although he admitted he'd never asked another guy if he wanted to be circumcised, he just magically knew it. Yeah. I mean, basically, whenever you're talking about taking away what people perceive as a parental right, you get a lot of resistance, and a lot of people see the world as never going to change. But I don't see it in that way, because, I mean, I just look back and think, in the 1950s, if you started talking about gay marriage, everyone would have told you that you would never live to see it. But if I was like a 20-year-old gay man in the 1950s, I might have very well lived to see a day when I could get married.
And some of the couples that are getting married after it becomes legal in places are really old couples that have been together for a very long time and have considered themselves married. You know? Yeah. And they just now get to have it legally recognized.
Yeah. So, I mean, also I think YouTube, the thing I love about YouTube is that it gives us, by the way, I'm feedback.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but anyway. It gives us, compared to if we were just, like, out on the street yammering, a fairly big audience. Because, I mean, even my, like, complete bullshit, not talking about anything videos can get 50 people. I mean, so that always encouraged me, and I think, what if I was in a room and just had 50 people listening to me? That would be pretty impressive, one-on-one, or, well, not one-on-one, but in person. So I'm kind of like, why is it less impressive over YouTube? And do I think I'm going to make a difference all by myself? No, I think, like, as a collective, YouTube can make a huge difference. So, basically, that keeps me going.
So, I just went through $400 worth of currency, and at this stage, this is the bonus round. That was all 20s, right? This is now the stripper bait round, okay? Where I take all my ones, and I always dedicate different portions of this process to different people. This was for you.
Thank you.
And for intactivists everywhere, because I love being an anteater, and I wish everyone had the opportunity to choose, you know, when they're old enough to choose.
Well, yeah.
So this next part is dedicated to, well, last time I did it, I dedicated it to Shayra, because I'd been seeing a lot of her. But this time I'm going to dedicate it to Avi Owens. She's a 5-Point Baptist that has been commenting on some of my videos lately. And I think she needs love. So I'm dedicating the stripper bait round to her.
Nice.
And I hope everyone goes to her channel and shows her a lot of love. Because she really doesn't think that anyone who has any thing that they're arguing for is ever going to make a difference. Ever. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't even get that kind of thinking when it... Of what? I mean, it's like... On YouTube, some people will get, like, thousands of people listening to them, and you'll still say, well, you're never going to make a difference.
If thousands of people are listening, you have started a conversation.
Yeah. To me, it's like... if I make... Someone has to make a difference. Am I going to make a complete change on my own? No. But as a collective, people on YouTube can make a very big change. I mean, I think in a lot of ways, YouTube is starting to popularize certain MRA ideas. I mean, prior to coming to YouTube, I had never even heard the idea of male reproductive rights, and now it's starting to become kind of the standard belief on YouTube. I mean, I think anti-circumcision has been big on YouTube, obviously. All of these ideas that previously were fringe elements have kind of grown and become the norm within this community of how many people? Thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions. I mean, I'm not going to say every one of them believes it, but certainly it's become kind of the standard.
And especially when we see a lot of people championing equal rights, and then you see the difference between people being willing to call it female genital mutilation and not being willing to call it male genital mutilation. They want it to be circumcision. Don't try to make it into something that it's not, you know. And I'll agree that when it happens to women, there are some forms of it that are just completely far worse, you know, as far as the tissue being removed being so much more, but it's still mutilation.
Actually, the part of that I think is the biggest piece of bullshit is the way they classify type 4 female circumcision, which is like a catch-all term for anything that doesn't fall into the first 3 categories. And so it's like the really mild forms go there along with more extreme forms. Yeah. So it's like, it's difficult to even talk about the more mild forms and the fact that they are illegal in the United States, where circumcision of males, which is more intense in some of those forms, like the pinprick, is not illegal.
Actually, I would actually be against the pinprick for infants on their foreskin as well, if it's not something that's medically necessary. You know, there's still a chance that pinprick could hit something. When the penis is so small, you know, there's still a chance that it could hit a nerve and deaden some sensitivity. I'm saying, if they could turn it into some way to draw blood for something that is medically necessary, and it doesn't matter where the needle goes, maybe. But
yeah, I would probably be with you. In the past, I've been torn on the pinprick, but right now I'd say that I am pretty much against it. But at the same time, it's bullshit to have male circumcision legal and have that pinprick be illegal.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I mean, I was born a male, so they want to cut off like a huge chunk of my penis. That's fine. But if I was born a girl, they would go to jail for bringing a needle anywhere near my clit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining me.
Good to be here.
Your watcher is Azel. Turn your camera off so I can see your logo. This badass logo.
Thanks.
Check that out.
Courtesy of Ellen Coast.
And everyone check out his channel. Go to AV Owens, show her some love, and try not to be a dick when people are trying to change the world for the better.